back in to Eye of the Storm. My name is Edwin Thorpe, and we are here to talk all things Iowa State Cyclones and the Big 12 Conference. Today's edition will be a shorter video recapping the Iowa State women's huge victory in Lubbock over number 21 Texas Tech. The Iowa State men play a oddly scheduled game on Thursday against Colorado in Hilton Coliseum, and it's a game which, short of a catastrophic performance by the Cyclones, probably won't produce much that we need to urgently talk about. So I'm going to wait and talk about the men after they go to Kansas State on Sunday, a game which I think will be much more telling for where this team is. And at that point, we will recap both of this week's games and look forward to the next one for the Iowa State men. Tonight, it was Iowa State 84 and Texas Tech 70. This was a massive win for the Iowa State women, one that they really had to have, because as we start coming down the stretch of their schedule, if you look at the teams that they have played and the wins that they have, Iowa State has a big-time win over Iowa at home, number 11 Iowa. They have a home loss to Baylor, a team who was ranked 22nd at the time, but which has played much better basketball since and is playing at a very high level right now at 19-3 overall, 8-1 in conference play. And the remaining schedule going into today had just at Texas Tech and at TCU for ranked opportunities. They also go to Utah and host Oklahoma State. And that's really the extent of the marquee games that the Iowa State women had left on their schedule. There are not many opportunities left for this team to build their resume. It's a resume which really needs building after that 5-game losing streak that involved not only missed opportunities, but a pair of very bad losses as well. And so the Iowa State women just needed this one badly. If they are going to get back into maybe the top 25 fringe, top 4 seed conversation by the end of the season, this was a game they had to have. They will probably need the one at TCU as well if they're going to host in March Madness. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Lately, the question has been, can Iowa State even make March Madness? And they needed to get off their losing streak to do that. But last week, against very bad teams in Cincinnati and Arizona, Iowa State played well, but I said at the time, I don't think it's time to stop being concerned about this team yet, because I didn't think that those games were very good indicators of where this team is at. They certainly have gotten better at playing without Audi Brown, but those games weren't big-time wins to me. This one absolutely is. Texas Tech is a team that had not played great lately. They had a 2-game losing streak, but their last time out, they smashed Utah on the road, a very decent Utah Utes team. And they were riding high, coming home off a big win, and Iowa State punched them in the mouth. This was an Audi Crooks game. She has 33 points on 13 of 19 shooting, 7 of 7 at the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Simply put, Texas Tech did not have an answer for Audi Crooks. And part of the reason why is that they did not bring the same defensive approach to this game that some of Iowa State's recent opponents have. When Iowa State was at their worst in the middle of that 5-game losing streak, teams were throwing a extended defense at them over and over again. They pushed the guards as far out beyond the 3-point line as they could and dared them to make that long entry pass into Audi Crooks, an entry pass which is easily deflected or intercepted and hard to collect even if it made it to Crooks. The solution to that, as we have pointed out many times in the show, is to attack the middle of the floor. And in those 2 wins last week, even though they may not have been great resume-building wins, Iowa State did demonstrate that they were able to beat the extended defense by attacking the middle. It speaks to the job that Bill Fenley has done, kind of regrouping with this team after losing Audi Brown and adjusting to what defenses have been throwing at them. Because of the adjustments that Iowa State was able to make last week, Texas Tech clearly did not feel comfortable extending the defense out against Iowa State. That was not the approach they brought, and what Iowa State was able to do was readjust and go back to what they had been doing before, which is just feed Crooks and play inside out. And Texas Tech had no answer for it. Crooks got what she wanted all night. They were not able to stop Iowa State feeding her the ball, and they weren't able to stop her scoring, even with two defenders. This may well end up being the most important game of the season. I wouldn't call it the biggest win of the season. I think the Iowa win is probably one that we will look back on as being obviously a rivalry game, but probably a better win on the resume. But this was the one that, if you're going to turn this season around and still turn it into something special, or at least a success, this was the one you had to have, right? If Iowa State would have lost this game, you're looking at a schedule that really can't do anything for you the rest of the way unless you win at TCU, which is going to be a tall order, even for a team which will probably have Addie Brown back by then. But man, to go on the road, still without Addie Brown, and win this game by double digits, very impressive. The Iowa State women, I think, clearly back on track now. They have an interesting week coming up now. They host UCF, a game that I think they should easily win. UCF is 10-10 overall, 2-7 in conference play. I don't think that the way Iowa State is playing right now, that should even be a close game. They should win that one easily, in my opinion, on Saturday. That's a 2 p.m. game. And then they go to Utah and to BYU. Those are two very interesting games. They're ones that really won't do much to build Iowa State's resume, but they're both very losable because these are pretty solid teams. You're going on the road for both of those games, and both can absolutely beat you. So Iowa State will need to be still on point going forwards because there are plenty of losable games left on the schedule, and you're looking at, a situation where Iowa State probably needs to go the rest of the way with one loss to have a chance at hosting, getting one of those top 4 seeds. I think if you can get to the end of the season at 25-6-ish, you'd be in that. Actually, be 24-6. You'd be in that conversation, right? With a good run in Kansas City. So we'll see. There is a lot left on the table for this Iowa State women's team. Tonight went a long way in making that a reality, because a loss, again, would have left really not much out there to be gained in the regular season for this team. So 84-70 is the final. The Iowa State women get the W at Texas Tech behind a big game from Audi Crooks. We will be back here on Sunday to talk about the Iowa State men playing a pair of games late this week and the Iowa State women hosting UCF on Saturday. For now, have a great rest of your week, and God bless.